Teresa was, going to start and introduce myself. I've had the pleasure of working with Teresa. Been a sister president a couple times and worked in various committees. And very excited for this region. We are working on a team approach where we have a lot of ambitious projects and programming to have a monthly Zoom session, hopefully beginning in August, where sisterhoods will showcase what they do in programming. You can get ideas, but most importantly, you can meet from other regions. We have initiatives also. We're now calling it affiliate versus sisterhood support. Just like Hadassah has chapters, we have affiliates, and that particular group is working to really assist and show what Women's League can do for their sisterhoods. And Torah Fund is in a second year of the B'Yachad. And there's a team with presence throughout New Jersey, which we're hoping by next year to visit synagogues. And I'm just saying, as being sisterhood presidents, I've worked in a unaffiliated synagogue on South River, I don't know, almost about 20 years ago, and something like that. Each sisterhood is as a president. And I also work with Marsha Cleos's sisterhood at Highland Park, and we have quite a few people currently on our board. And it's one of the best jobs you can ever have. It's rewarding. It's also frustrating because it's a volunteer work, and your goal really is to get the most you can out of each person on your goal, on your team. The team building approach, which I've learned from consultants of Marsha, Toby, I met at the Institute, really focus on a lot of very good techniques that you will learn tonight. And we're very progressive. If you attended our session last year, this year it might be very different. So a lot of good materials, please utilize them. And that's about all I have to say. Make everybody feel valued in the sisterhood, which is probably my theme. And if you're president, always have your eyes open for a successor because it's hard to find, and it should not be a job for life. It should be a job that you're constantly grooming new talent for. Thank you. Teresa, did you have any words? I think you were going to go first.
I was just going to say hello to everyone, and I'm so excited that Lynette is our incoming region president, and I'd like to introduce Marsha Strongin, our Women's League consultant, and Toby Mazer, our Women's League consultant, who will be conducting our session and giving you all the good tips from Women's League. And I know you're going to be great presidents, but we all could use a little help, especially in communication and where to find things and programming especially. So Marsha, I'd like to, and Toby, hand it off to you, and I'll mute myself so you can hear.
Well, thank you, Teresa and Lynette. Before I start, I want to tell you, I have a tendency to talk fast. I'm going to try to talk more slowly, but if I start racing, just unmute yourself and say slow down, and I will. It's just a bad habit.
Oh, you know, can I just interrupt one thing? Are you going to ask everyone to introduce themselves? Because maybe you've done that before. So should we do you want to?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, because I think Debbie, the people that Debbie, and there's a phone number. We need to find out who they are. So I'm gonna unmute now, and then mute, and then let you go.
Okay, so Sharon Hammerman, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? You have to unmute.
I volunteered to be president because I heard that my sisterhood was disbanding. And in a congregation of over 800 families, I thought that was terrible. And I've been involved with Torah Fund, Sisterhood Shabbat for many years, and it's been very successful. So I said, I'll give this a whirl and see.
And your
That's probably
sisterhood
the
is,
most important things to say about me right now.
and what's your sisterhood and where are you?
I'm at Congregation Agudath Israel in Caldwell, which is an extremely successful congregation. And part of the problem with Sisterhood is that the congregation does many of the things that Sisterhood has done in the past. And that's part of the problem. So,
Okay. Marsha?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. I'm Marsha Cleos. I am starting my second 2-year term as Sisterhood President at the Highland Park Conservative Temple Congregation Ante Emmet in Highland Park. And I couldn't be more proud. I love the job. I love the women. And that's what I'm doing. Hopefully this year we'll be able to make some more money, and we have a nice nut that we donate to the temple every year. And it was difficult last year, but hopefully this year we're going to come up with some new ideas to raise funds.
Hey, Ray Ellen?
Yes, I'm co-president of Sisterhood Temple Beth Am in Aberdeen, New Jersey. I was president from 2007, 2009, but I'm glad I have a co-president this time around. And I'm ready to get going again.
You. Anne? Anne, you're muted.
Unmute. I'm trying.
muted.
Unmute. Yeah. Hi. Sorry. I'm Ann Golick from Fair Lawn Jewish Center Congregation B'nai Israel in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. I had been asked many times to be president and never wanted it, and that was sort of the same thing this year. But there was no one that was willing to do it. So rather than have to come up with a presidium, multiple people doing something, I just sort of said that I would become president. So we'll see. Installation was last week. So I'm pretty new, but I've been involved in in many of the other roles. So we'll see.
Elaine?
Hi, I'm Elaine Silverstein, co-president of the Sisterhood of Temple Israel in Ridgewood. We were looking at a leadership vacuum this year. So I and my co-president, Debbie Cantor, we both have been presidents in the past. I about 10 years ago and she about 20 years ago. So we stepped up and we said we would do it together for 1 year and hopefully groom somebody, because our sisterhood is very vital to a lot of people in the congregation. We both feel strongly that we want to keep it going. So, thank you.
Karen? Unmute.
Hi, me, Karen, or the other Karen? I think there's another Karen.
Pull up.
Okay, Pollock. Okay, I didn't hear anybody call me, so I'm with Sisterhood Temple Beth Am in Aberdeen, and I'm co-president this year with Ray Ellen Mandelbaum, who already spoke, and I'm very thankful to be with her since she's had the experience of being president before. I have been chair of the programming committee for several years, so I have been involved, but this is my first go as Sisterhood president.
Susan?
Hi, I am from Toms River, New Jersey, Congregation B'nai Israel. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Susan.
And we've had a wonderful year of exciting programs on Zoom. We've really made the most of it because we could get programs from all over the country, which I did. And so we're looking forward to another great calendar year with some fabulous programs. And, I just hope that people come out. Our congregation is small. And if we go back in person, we have a lot of people that don't drive at night. So anyway, but I'm so glad to be part of this group. And this is it. I'll be glad to share some of our ideas and looking forward to getting some of your ideas.
Thank you. Janet?
Hi, everyone. I represent Congregation Torah El in Oakhurst, New Jersey. We're, I guess, a pretty large chapter, very few active people. So I retired from a lifetime of full-time work and last year, and they said, okay, it's your turn. And I said, I need a little time for myself, and I never got it. And I retired on July 6th last year, and by September, I was back to work. So I've managed a very full part-time job, and the Sisterhood presidency, I think pretty well. We had all Zoom activities. We had much better participation on Zoom than we do in person. And I'm hoping this year to make it a hybrid model where we have our board meetings on Zoom and activities in person. And I'm hoping that that'll work. I have 2 people on the board that are fighting against that proposition, but I think I feel pretty firm about that. We had some terrific programs last year. We did, I studied the website and was able to lift a few of the programs and use them. And I think everybody enjoyed it. And I'm trying to get people to see the website and see the different things that it offers. We have lots of people that do the study at 12 noon. And we have Rabbi Ellen in our congregation. So she's a really good resource for us as well. I am looking to do a few activities that I don't know how to do. So I hope some of you guys do those activities so that I can ask you questions.
So you're not the only one
That's
to
it.
talk
We
about
will.
doing a
We will.
hybrid meeting.
You have great stuff at your temple with the book discussions, and we're already utilizing them.
Mhm. Yeah, we
And I
had
know
some
other
wonderful,
sisters-
I took the
other
concert
sisters-
from the Women Cantors last year, and we made that into more or less our first meeting of the year, and everybody really liked it, really enjoyed it. And then we had more music with Neshama Carlback for our Torah Fund event. We had wonderful participation, so we'll give it a whirl with more.
Okay, great. Sheila?
Hi, I'm Sheila Calpern from Miriam's Sisterhood in South Orange. This is going into my, I don't know, I think it's the either 5th or 6th year of being president. I'm also region webmaster, and I'm also the international Zoom chair. So if you need help with Zoom, reach out to me, and I will be more than happy to help you out. The reason why I was president back in 2006 when my graduating high school senior was 4 years old. So now I'm back in this because no one was stepping up, and I didn't want it to go away. We were founding members of Women's League, and we've been around. We just celebrated our 140th year. So there's no way that I'm going to let this go away. And so this past couple of years has been, year and a half has been very crazy. And everybody's asked me, including the president, when are you going to step down? And I'm like, it's none of your business. But that being said, I've been there, and I will be more than happy to step down as long as I can get someone to step up. And that's a big problem. And our sisterhood has gotten, there's so much activity in the building within the all the cohorts that it's hard to get people to participate. And so hopefully this coming year, I'm having all my programs in person. Just like you, Janet, I'm looking at doing a hybrid as far as meetings online, but I'd like to have meetings in person, but that can only happen on Sunday mornings if there's availability. So, but anyway, but we have some great programs coming up. So I'm looking forward to doing them.
Good. Sarah?
Hi, I'm Sarah Ullman from East Brunswick Jewish Center. I'm co-president with Cindy Jacobs, who's also attending. This is my second year with Cindy, but previously I spent 2 years as co-president with Margot Julis. So I think when I'm listening to all the women, there's a theme that keeps coming up that we really have to address, which is that many people here sound like reluctant leaders who were sort of dragged in because nobody else would do it. So I think we have to consider how we can encourage women to step up, what we can do about getting people into leadership positions. Is it a cultural problem? Is it an age problem? I'm not sure. You know, for those of us who are still working full time, it's very stressful to manage both. And, you know, right now it's 7:22. I've been up since before 6 and I'm tired. So this is, you know, a problem. We have to look at the sisterhoods as they are right now. We get a lot of participation, but we don't get people who want to do anything. They just want to come to the events. They don't want to be responsible for any of the work involved. And so it's frustrating. And some of the personalities become frustrating because of the way that people behave, because of the way that they get offended easily. There are many different personality issues that keep coming up. So in theory, I love the idea of being sister president. I think that you've done wonderful work, but it's not all fun. So I think we have to be, you know, we can't just have these meetings and just teach, you know, rah, rah. We have to really talk honestly, and I'm willing to do that. So thank you.
Thank you. Dorothy?
Okay, I'm Dorothy Cohen. I'm president of the Morristown Jewish Center Sisterhood in Morristown. Our problem is the same as everybody else has been saying. We have no one that's willing to step up. This is my second year as president. Donna Gross is sort of my co-president. She was definitely my co-president last year. I was also president 10 years ago and have held many, many of the other positions. But it's just, I don't understand if women are just afraid to have president next to their name, as we have a well-run sisterhood. I mean, things go, you know, it's not like I have to do everything. So I'm frustrated in that regard, and so is Donna. So we're hoping that maybe this year somebody will step up, but if not, next year is going to be a really serious problem because we have made up our mind that continuing on is not promoting other leadership. So it's really hard. And we do raise a heck of a lot of money. We do mahjong tournaments and all kinds of things. And, you know, it would be a pity if all this goes down the drain. So thank you.
Debbie?
My name is Debbie Toplansky. I am with Congregation B'nai Israel in Milburn. I am co-president with Lisa Friedman. I was recording secretary for 2 years, and this is my first year of a, I guess, 2-year term as president. So looking to also do some hybrid Zoom and in-person, because I think we're all sort of zoomed out, and I think you kind of miss out on some of that connection when you're doing it on Zoom and only Zoom. But I know, you know, last year we had a lot of great programs, and I hear a lot of frustration from, or not everyone, but from a lot of people in terms of, I work in HR, so succession planning is kind of like a thing of grooming, you know, future leaders. So it sounds like, and I think in our case too, that's something that we're going to have to work on as well. We've had some really great leaders, and I was asked to be president. So taking on that challenge, and looking forward to seeing and hearing about some of the other ideas and events that the other chapters are doing.
Thank you. Cindy Jacobs? Cindy? All right, how about Karen Cohen?
I'm from Congregation Beth Shalom in Teaneck. I have been co-president with Cindy Blitz for about 3 years. And I just took on another position as treasurer for this year. Unfortunately, we do not have the support of the congregation. Our membership has gone down from past years, and we are having events basically on Zoom right now, but we don't get the support that we really are looking for. It seems that everything, younger women, they have no time, they have children, they work, and you know what? I think we all went through that. We had children, we worked, but we managed to do what we needed to do. So it's a very discouraging situation. And we do have a board. Everybody, chips in, and we're trying.
I don't know who's on the phone. It's 908-510-4005. Can you unmute and talk to us?
That's me, Jennifer Bullock, Neve Shalom. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I have been president of our sisterhood for more years than I can count. We had a relatively strong board. Unfortunately, we have lost several people over the last year, both to death and people moving away. And our participation in our membership participation is kind of loosey-goosey when it comes to events. This year we really didn't do anything. There were other things that were going on within the shul and being zoomed out and all of that. We really did not do anything productive as far as programming is concerned. But we have continued through most of the pandemic being allowed. We have a weaving loom or loom room, which has been active for the last 4 or 5 years. And we have continued through having people come and weave challah covers, talitot during the pandemic. And now we're picking things up even greater, and we're pretty full as far as the calendar is concerned. All things that all of the other congregations in the region are welcome to participate in. Just give me a call, or my partner in crime, Corey Schneider, if you have any interest in being a part of it. We have partnered with other congregations in the region, and we have it benefits your congregations as well as our congregation, because there's some give back as far as when other people from other congregations come and weave in our loom room. Aside from that, we have had little, over the last many years, things seem to be on a downside. I can't get anybody to forget about taking over the presidency. I can't even get people to sit on the board. It's been difficult, but again, like so many of the other women who have spoken already, I don't feel that I can let it go. So I continue on as president, hoping that at some point we will have some sort of surge and, get back on a better track.
Okay. Cindy, are you back? Cindy Jacobs? One more shot. Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm co-president with Sarah Ullman of East Brunswick, and this is our second year together. It was a kind of a difficult year of Zoom, but it did allow us to do things we might not have tried before. And I really didn't want to be pretty, but there was no, so I'm doing so that know it's hard. I was, and I love same boat. To get youngers and others that are have bar age kids. They have a group called Era, and they think just themselves, and they don't join Sisterhood. So we have a sisterhood that's mostly people in their 60s, 50s.
Cindy, you're cutting in and out. So we're having trouble hearing you.
You can't hear me that well?
Every now and then we can hear you, and then we can't.
Okay. We said our
Okay, I'm sorry, but we just can't understand what you're saying because it keeps cutting in and out. So I think we're going to move on. So I asked everybody to print out the Sisterhood Advisor before the meeting. Did everybody get a chance to do that? I see no's and I see yeses. If you didn't, you might want to get a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil to take notes.
And this is also being recorded. So if you just want to listen now and then go back at another time and take your notes, you can do that.
Golda Meir said, "I never did anything alone. Whatever was accomplished in this country was accomplished collectively." You're not alone. I know sometimes it feels like you're alone, but the presidency of a sisterhood is not a one-woman show. You have a team of women, even if it's only a few, to help you. So use them. Use the people that you have. The purpose of this workshop is to show you some tools to help you in your leadership role in your sisterhood. Women's League has many tools ready to help you, so you can try at least to enjoy your role and grow your own leadership skills. In addition to being one of your consultants for today's workshop, I am also the treasurer of Women's League. And I've been president of 2 different sisterhoods, so I do understand what you're going through. Toby Mazer, the other consultant present tonight, is in charge of PresNet, which is a listserv for sisterhood presidents. And I want to encourage each of you to join that listserv. You can share ideas and problems with other sisterhood presidents in Women's League. And all you need to do is contact her at tmaser@wlcj.org, tmaser@wlcj.org, and she can sign you up. I'm going to stop sharing for a second and let Toby tell you a few words about the listserv.
Hi there. Hopefully some of you have already seen my emails that have been posted. I wrote to the PresNet and I also put it on the WLCJ net sometime before June 30th, hopefully by this weekend. What you need to do is have your predecessor, if you are a new president, go in and add your name as the new president for 21-22. There's a whole pamphlet of information that actually Marsha put together to tell you how to do that. And we'll make sure that each of you get that handout so that you know how to go in and change to the new presidency. The PresNet itself is an online forum. You must be a current sisterhood president to join. I don't want outsiders in there. I want us to be able to kvell and kvetch and share ideas. And I want all of you tonight to get out of that funk of depression. Sisterhood, being a president of Sisterhood should be a proud, happy, involved time for each of you. And we have the resources to help you get there. So the president is open 24/6. And you can always contact me privately. I'm going to put my name and my email and my phone number in the chat so that you will have it. And if you can't get in, let me know. I will help you. I'll take phone calls, I'll take emails, I'll take text messages. Just yell for help. What we're doing in addition to that this year that we started last year is beginning in August, not in September, but then again through October through June, we're going to have monthly meetings, monthly Zooms for all Sisterhood presidents who wish to join us. And the reason for that is sometimes it's just easier to get on a Zoom and say, hey, I need help with X, Y, and Z. Because if you do that, what ends up happening is there's going to be 20 other women saying, yes, I need help with that, please. It's difficult to ask for help when you don't know where you need that help and you don't know some of the basics. And that's why going through your Sisterhood advisor, when I was Sisterhood president, that became my Bible. I printed one sheet on each page. Originally, I had tried to do back to back because I didn't want to waste so much paper. I ended up printing only one sheet on each page so that the facing sheet on the left was blank and I could make my own notes in there. More than anything, I want to tell you that we are here to support you, to hold your hand, to have a shoulder to fetch to, whatever way that we can help you. All of us have been there before. Anyone in consulting services, we've all been there, we've all done that, we've all had the same greatness, and we've all had the same concerns. And whether it be you're not getting support from your temple or you're dealing with difficult personalities, we have tools that can help you with all of that. So please, please, please make sure you get on the president. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, before I do this, does anyone have any questions about the president or anything? Just been talking about.
Yeah, I'm sorry. How do you get on this again, or is it?
Toby's going to put her email in the chat and just send her an email and tell her that you're the new Sisterhood president and you want to be on president.
Okay.
But please include your name, your sisterhood, the city, and the state. Because if I just get an email from Ann, I don't know where to go. My first job when I get that email is to check the database to make sure that you are in fact a Sisterhood president. Then I will contact you and get you on the list. I will send you information about how the president works, how to post to it, how to get information through it, and I'll take care of you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. The mission of Women's League is to strengthen and unite our sisterhoods and their members and to support them in our mutual efforts to understand and perpetuate conservative Judaism. Okay, but what does that mean? Well, what it means is that Women's League is here to support you, the sisterhoods. So if this is your first time being a sisterhood president, you're probably wondering just how do you do your job and what are your responsibilities? Oops. So your overall responsibilities are to provide the vision and direction for your sisterhood, to be the face of the organization and represent its best interests, and to represent your sisterhood as a member of the Garden State Region Board. You all are members of the board. And if there are board meetings, you should be invited to attend and you should attend. chat. Oh, okay.
Oops, that was too.
Remember that you're the liaison for your sisterhood at any synagogue meetings or functions you attend. So remember to wear your Torah fund pin whenever you're in the synagogue. As president, you have responsibilities to the women on your board and to your membership. A leader should care not only about getting the job done, but also about the individuals on your team. You're responsible for supervising or overseeing the work of the other officers and board members and assuring that they function together as an effective team. To be as successful as a leader, you need to get to know the women on your board and accept them for whom they are and what they can offer in time and talent. This will help you work with them more effectively. Be sure the board gets to know you too. Plan time in the beginning of your year for board members to get to know each other. Empower your board. Now that you know their strengths, make sure your board members know each other's as well. This way, everyone will know whom to call on for each of the different things that need to be done. Trust the members of your board. Once your board knows what's expected of them, give them the opportunity to do their job. They may not solve every challenge the same way you would, but that doesn't mean their way is wrong. Reinforce values. As a leader, make sure that new members know about your sisterhood and what its mission is. This defines who you are. If you don't have a mission statement, look in the Sisterhood Advisor that we sent. It has some samples, or ask a Women's League consultant to help you develop one. And if you do have one, look at it and see if it's still relevant and in line with Women's League. Be flexible and willing to compromise. You may have started with a vision for a project, but sometimes as you work on it, you find that the final product isn't what you'd expected it to be. Compromising shows strength. It shows that you can listen to different ideas and not feel the need to hold on to something that may not be the best idea. Establish goals. Working collectively to establish goals gives board members ownership of the project, and this will give them a greater sense of responsibility. It'll make your board easier to lead as everyone agrees with what you want to accomplish. Recognize their efforts. Praise boosts motivation and engagement. We're all volunteers, and we get paid with the acknowledgement and appreciation of a job well done. A written note of appreciation goes a long way. I used to have a member of my region board when I was president of the region that had these little stickers that she bought them in bulk, and they would say, "Thank you," or "Have a nice day," and she just hand them out at meetings. And it really made us all feel good. And then we all asked, "Where did you get these? We want to use them." Don't try to do everything yourself, delegate. It always seems easier just to do the job yourself, but you don't want to hold this job forever. Those of you who said you've been in it forever, when you delegate, you train others, which will help you build future leadership. As Lynette said, one of the most important things you should consider is who's going to replace you? Who will you mentor? Also, remind your women not to do sisterhood business on Shabbat or on the holidays. Are there any questions about anything that I've gone over so far? Okay, so what do you do first? My sisterhood asked consulting services to schedule a training session for our board at the beginning of every year. Not only does it give us a chance to brush up on our job responsibilities, but it also gives us a chance to get to know one another a little better. First, check your bylaws to see who's on your board and your executive committee. And by the way, it's a committee, it's not executive board, it's executive committee. Generally, your board should consist of your executive committee, your committee or team leaders, and any ex officio members like the rabbi or members of the international or the region board. The executive committee are the elected officers, the president, vice president, secretaries, treasurers, and immediate past president. If you don't have a training session, at least reach out to each board member to welcome them and explain their responsibilities, and then help them find the resources that they need. Another thing your board needs to do right away is formulate a budget. And there's a sample budget, again, in the Sisterhood Advisor. When you consider the budget, remember to include per capita. Your sisterhoods choose to be affiliates of Women's League by paying us a per capita of $15 for each member of your sisterhood. And by paying the per capita, then each sisterhood member becomes a member of Women's League. As an aside, do you know that a sisterhood is obligated to pay per capita for honorary members, life members, ex officio members, and any other members to whom you give free membership? Women's League doesn't support giving honorary life memberships because once it's given, there's no additional financial obligation. But whether or not they pay dues to Sisterhood, their per capita is still due Women's League. If you don't pay their per capita, they won't have the benefits of Women's League membership. And your initial per capita invoices will be sent in September with the per capita due by January 10th of 2022. And also on the topic of finances, your sisterhood financial records are your records. You have to open them to the synagogue president or the director if you're asked, because you're an auxiliary of the synagogue. So just to make it clear, you choose to be an affiliate of Women's League by paying your per capita, but your synagogue allows you to be an auxiliary and to use their tax ID number. Any questions about that? Okay, so what does Women's League do with your money? Your per capita allows us to provide services to sisterhoods like consulting services, leadership institutes, workshops on Zoom or in person, and support for your region. Did you know that Women's League gives your region an allocation every quarter to pay for the region support of your sisterhoods? And Women's League is a voice on the world scene. We're an active partner in and support of many national and international organizations, and we give all our members a voice in the worldwide Jewish community. Your per capita helps Women's League provide you with programs and publications. Women's League is active in public policy and social justice. As a matter of fact, we currently have a resolution for racial justice that's being voted on. And if you haven't had a chance to vote yet, look at the latest Women's League Week email and read the resolution and vote on it, and then take it to all of your members in your sisterhood to vote on as well. So do all of you get our Women's League emails? I'm seeing some heads nodding. If you don't, first look in your spam folders, and if you still can't find them, then check your email on our database and make sure it's right. And I want to encourage you to make sure that all of your members' emails are correct as well, so they can receive our information. And we'll look at that in a little while. So I mentioned the PresNet listserv, but Women's League has many other listservs as well. We have one for Judaic shop chairs, so they can share ideas. I was chair of my Sisterhood Judaica shop, and some of the things we discussed on the listserv were vendors who were helpful versus the ones that were just nasty. There was one vendor that I found out was knowingly selling unkosher mezuzah scrolls. And I found that out through the listserv. And we talked about point of sale programs to bring the shops into the modern age. We even joined together to make purchases that one shop couldn't make by itself. Women's League also has a listserv for creative Judaic arts to share ideas for creative programs, and one for mothers of Olim, where they discuss common issues with having children so far from home. For more information about where your money goes, you can look either in the Sisterhood, in the handouts. There's a handout I gave you that's called Women's League Per Capita and Your Sisterhood, and it's in there. Any questions? So Toby told you that your past president should have already accessed the database to update you as president. Please make sure that if it hasn't been done, that they do it. It has to be updated by June 30th. And if not, you'll be locked out. So if perchance it doesn't get updated and you get locked out, contact Rachel Kessler. And her email is rkessler at WLCJ.org, and she can help you. Then once you're listed as president, you can go into the database and update your board members in your membership list. And even if your board is the same as last year, you still have to update it. I've mentioned consulting services several times, so I want to give you a little more detail about that. As we mentioned, Toby and I are consultants. That means that we're part of a group of women specially trained to be there to help you. If you feel you need a mentor, we can have someone help you privately. You can learn how to run a meeting, improve your leadership and delegating. You can learn how to resolve difficult issues. You can also request training sessions on a variety of topics: membership, leadership, goal setting, strategic planning, problem solving, or customized workshops just for your sisterhood. The sessions are free for the asking. They can be on site or on Zoom, and it's all paid for with your per capita. One way that Women's League supports our sisterhoods is through our regions. Women's League has 13 regions to support sisterhoods all around the country. Although your region, Garden State, is only one state, New Jersey, many of the regions are far more vast. My region, intracontinental, covers an area from Canada all the way to Mexico. And New York is in 3 different sisterhoods because it's so big. The regions are subdivisions within Women's League, and they're actually part of the league and not separate entities. According to the Women's League bylaws, the mission of the regions is to serve as a connection between Women's League and its affiliates, that's you, the sisterhoods, and its members, the individual members, and to provide services to strengthen the affiliates. In other words, the responsibility of the region is to provide services to your sisterhoods. Women's League, your region, and sisterhood all have parallel officers and parallel committees to support each other. So you can see we all have officers and board members. We all have membership services. On the Women's League side, the membership is affiliate retention, which is keeping the sisterhoods as affiliates, and the services to the sisterhoods. We all have different programs, education being one of them. Women's League has a book club, Women's League Reads, and lots of other programs, which you can find in your weekly email from Women's League. We all have social action projects. Right now, Women's League has we do one every 3 years. So the one these 3 years for this administration is called Stock the Shelves. And we encourage all of your sisters to participate in this project. Many of you are already engaged in wonderful projects to assist with food insecurity and the needs of your community members. That's what Stock the Shelves is all about. You can find more information about it on our website before you log in at the bottom under Social Action and Outreach. We also have a Resolutions and Public Policy Committee, and that's where the resolution from racial justice came from. We all have Torah Fund, and Women's League has a convention. The region has your conference, which we hope you'll go to both of those. And then Women's League has the region and affiliate support team of consulting services. Okay, any questions about all of that? No, really? Okay, so now that you know how important per capita is, I want to take a look at the database and show you how to record your members and pay your per capita. Before we do that, I sent out a scavenger hunt. Did anybody do the scavenger hunt? So what did you find? Were there any difficulties? What did you discover? Unmute and let's talk about it.
I found that I couldn't do it all because I would click on things and it wouldn't work.
Okay.
I think this website has a lot to be desired.
Well,
as far as being user friendly.
You know, it's a lot better than it used to be.
Well, I
had no
don't know
problem.
that.
To you.
Yeah.
I had no problem.
But
A lot of updates.
Janet, how did you find it?
No problem.
No problem?
Nope.
Marsha, the website is in the process of a year-long update. And that's why if you look at it this week and then you look at it again next week, it could be quite different. And yes, you're right. There are a lot of things that used to be on the website that are not on there right now because the feedback that we got was that it was difficult to find things before. So the entire website is in process of step by step being revamped to make it absolutely user-friendly. And if you can't find something that you are looking for, please either reach out to Marsha or myself.
The other thing is, if your clicking just doesn't work, it may be that they're updating it while you're looking and you need to just go out and go back in a little while later. Because she is every day our website designer. This website is designed specifically for us and it works with our membership database. And every day she's in there doing more things.
okay, I was trying today during the scavenger hunt, you know, to do some of these things, and I wanted to go and add a new member, for example, and it just wasn't working. And I wanted to delete one, and I couldn't do that. I don't know how to do that.
Let's look at the website.
I'm on it.
Okay, I'm on it too. So this is what it looks like. You log in. Well, first, before you log in, I want to show you here. It has all kinds of things coming up. It gives you upcoming events. And then down at the bottom, there are resources without even logging in. There are resources for Sisterhood presidents and Sisterhood and members. And down here, social action and outreach.
Let me
that's
try.
That's where you'll find our Stock the Shelves program. So, and all that is before you even log in. Then when you log in, you can also find out about the regions if you want to know who's in what region. There's some programs. Our programming idea of the week is here before you log in. Information on the Israel Program's Days of Study and the Jewels of the Crown Awards. But let's log in.
Okay, that's where I am.
All right, somebody asked, the recording will be emailed. We were planning for this to be an hour and a half. That's the answer to the chat person. All right, so here you go. I also have region access, but you won't. So you'll see different pink boxes depending on your position. And the pink boxes might move around and you might get more than there were. So download WLCJ member materials. This is where we asked you to go for the scavenger hunt. And I think we asked you, I can't remember what the questions were, but this is the Sisterhood part of it. And I think it said go to Sisterhood Administration, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So you click on Sisterhood Administration.
Nothing there.
Then what?
Okay, so she must be there used to be a list here.
So it's not me.
No, it's not you. She must be working on it.
No, none of those will open except for the last one, the advisor.
Well, no, this one opened. This one, member documents open. Sisterhood governance opened. Best practices is a parliamentary guide, and we just updated the affiliate model bylaws. So if you're interested in, it wouldn't hurt to take a look at that and see what our examples are for bylaws, because we just added some
we just did that
things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and here's the Sisterhood advisor that I asked you, that I sent you, but
yes,
if you didn't get the email, you can download it.
Mhm.
All right. There's also, we're having a bat mitzvah class right now. We're having Hebrew classes. If you want consulting services, there's consulting services here. You can click on that and find out about consultants. Is there a, okay. Okay, but the Sisterhood list access is what you need to look at. You can update your own profile in here, but when we say to go and change your things about Sisterhood, here down, and like I said, these may move, but position report, you want to manage positions. When you go into manage positions, you can see, this is already changed, but when you go in, all of these will be empty. There won't be anything here. And you have to you say add new position holder.
Mm-hmm.
And then you select the position. So you select Judaica shop chair. And then you go down your list of members and you find the person who you want it to be. And you click on the person and then you say add.
Right, I did
and
that.
then they'll show up in this box.
That's what didn't happen.
Okay. All right, I'm going to let you share your screen.
I don't know how to, well, I'm on two different computers. Because I wanted to be able to be on the website, but I have the, I did what you said to do. And then a little box comes up to the left of the whole list that has her name and her position.
Right.
And that's where it stays. And I clicked on add new member. I mean, I don't know where to go from there. It's still separate from the rest of the list. Let me see if I can just can you see that?
That's fine. You're adding to that left column.
You're adding it. You're adding it on the left. That's
right.
Exactly what you're doing.
Right.
Okay, now show me how to delete somebody from the box.
You're adding everybody onto the 21.
From the box on the left.
Okay. I don't want to take up a lot of this time with you guys.
This is what people need to know how to do. That's exactly it. So that box on the left is going to be empty. It might just have president. It should just have president. And then as you add new positions, they'll enter into that box on the left. And in the end, you want all of your positions on the left-hand side with all of the people who hold those positions.
Okay, so the box that's on the right that had that whole list.
That's last year.
So I just have to keep uploading, adding and adding and adding and adding
them on the left until you have all the positions.
Even if
it's the same person, you still have to add it on the left.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So that's
a deadline. Is there a deadline for this?
Yeah, 30th. For the president, there's a deadline, and that's the end of the June 30th, because that's the end of our fiscal year. But for the rest, there's not a deadline. It's just
I'm not going to make the deadline. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not making the deadline.
Add the one person.
It's only the president that has to be in by June 30th.
Right now, it takes a second.
Right now, you need to be put in as president. That's it. The other people you need to add eventually, so that they can get the information from their corresponding person on the region level. So at some point in the not too distant future, you want to get all those people in so that they'll get the information that they need from Women's League and from the region. But the only person that has to be in right away is the president.
Okay, just did that. All right.
Okay.
I'm glad I asked.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Because I did this, so I think I'm all up to date, but then I got an email from someone here that said I didn't put in a financial secretary. So I have to ask, we have lots of different secretaries or lots of different positions. I don't have, what is your definition of a financial secretary? Because we don't have that.
Do you have a treasurer?
We do, and I put that in as treasurer.
You can
So,
put it in as financial secretary as well.
okay, thank you. I
Yeah.
didn't know what that role meant.
Well, in some places, one person collects the money and another person pays the bills.
Okay.
In your case,
We're all lucky that we have enough people to at
right.
least do the work.
In my sisterhood, it's the same person as well.
Okay, so I just have her there twice. Yeah.
Just put the same person down. Yeah,
Okay,
both.
thank you.
Okay, so the other thing you need to do, I keep looking at the chat. The other thing you need to do is know how to add members, and eventually we want you'll have either a data manager or your treasurer when they collect dues will be doing this, but you may need to be the person to show them how to do it. So you go into manage member list, which is right here. And at the beginning of the year, all the people who were members who paid dues last year are still going to be checked. See all these little blue check marks? They're still going to be checked. I asked the person who's updating our website to give me a box that says uncheck all. And I don't know if she's going to, I think she's going to do that, but I'm not certain. So
Marsha, it still says 2021.
Yes, it does, because the
21,
fiscal year hasn't changed yet.
Okay.
But in July, see, it says through June.
Okay.
In July, it's going to change.
Okay.
Okay. And in July, you need to go through, and whoever pays dues, you need to go, if they paid dues this year and didn't last year, you need to put a little check here. And if they paid dues last year and they're not going to pay this year, you need to uncheck that box. And if you see, if I go and add checks, I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 checks. See here where it says total amount, $60? That's the amount for those 4 people that I just checked. I'm going to uncheck
something that you already paid for the others.
Right, right. But when you go through and if you uncheck everybody and you go through and check the people who pay, it'll show you total current invoice amount with the amount that you owe and total amount due with the amount that you owe. And then when you pay, it'll go down to 0. And if you add new members. Now, if you need to edit a member, say somebody moved or the address is wrong, you click on the little pencil and you can update the member profile. So you want to, if the email is wrong, they're not getting the emails. The first thing to do, first ask them if it's going to their trash, and then check the email address and make sure it's correct. And then say save profile information. The X is for somebody who passed away. Okay, don't click X unless you really want them to go away forever.
The dot says deceased.
Well, the dot it says mark deceased. But if you mark the X, it's going to go away and remove forever and you'll never see it again. So we recommend that you don't click that X ever. If you need to add a new member, you click on add new member and you'll get the same information to put in.
I'm sorry, if someone's deceased, we press the dot or we press the X?
You can mark it as deceased with the dot, or you can click the X and it'll go away forever. It doesn't, either one.
Okay, they're gone forever. They're gone anyhow.
They're gone, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you can add a new member. I was just told, sometimes when you add people's names and you put in their email address, you get a notice that says, this email already exists in our database. If you get that notice, then I think we're going to change the notice so it'll say contact Razel for more information, because it may be that member exists in another in another sisterhood and they've moved, or it might be that it exists somewhere and it's a mistake. So Razel can consolidate those emails. So I gave you her email address. It's rkessler@wlcj.org. If you have any problem doing any kind of adding or anything with this database, just contact Razel and she can help you out. So when you finish all this, all your updates, if you want to, if you don't want to,
Don't forget to click save before you get out of it.
right, don't forget to click save. That's really important. Save updates over here. So you'll see how much you owe and you can just send it in. But if you want an actual invoice, you can go back and click on request per capita invoice. And you put the name of the person to send it to, and it'll have the email and everything. You can also pull a member report and see all of the members who you've put in that are active. All the people that you put in and said paid that they paid dues. And you can export that list. And it'll export into an Excel spreadsheet that you can then use for your records. Oh, you're not going to see this because I didn't put it on my whole computer. You can look at a position report as well. Oh, I'm sorry, that's going to download too, and you won't see that. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Any questions about that? Okay. So one more thing before I forget, if you have any events, invite Debbie Keener Goldich. She's our international president. She loves to come to things. So don't feel intimidated because she's the president. She really wants to come. And her email, I didn't write it down. Her email is dgoldich, Goldich, @wlcj.org. She really wants to get to know everybody and she would love to come to your events. So please invite her. If you're taking credit cards, is anybody accepting credit cards in your sisterhoods? No? Really? Okay. If you decide to, don't use anything that takes a personal phone number like Zelle or what's the other one? The ones that the kids use on their phones. Don't use those. Thank you, Toby. You can use PayPal. You can use anything where you need an email, and then to do that, you have to create your sisterhood email. So don't base it on a person's email or a person's phone. That's the important thing. Okay, so I want you to talk. So let's talk about issues that you have. We have 15 minutes left.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Back to this. So once you add all the new positions for 21-22, there's not any place that says save, right?
No, that you just, you don't have to.
It'll be saved
on that.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
It will remember that. Yeah.
I don't even know how to get onto this. Onto
the
this
website?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Log out. Do you have a login?
Nope.
Okay, you have to contact Razel.
You can do it automatically now. Just put in your stuff and say,
okay, say
new.
first time login. Okay, so when you go, click on enter www.wlcj.org. Go there on your website. Go to the member login, which let me show you where it is. The member login is right over here in the corner on the far right. You click on that. And then when you get to the login page, say right under, I have it automatically going in, so see if I can stop it really fast. Okay. No, can't do it. Just, it'll say first time login, and you can click on first time login, and then it'll create, you just follow the steps to get in.
The only concern that there may be, Susan, is if you are nowhere on the Women's League site and there's no record of you somewhere, it's not going to let you sign up. In that case, you would contact Rachel.
So if you've
Okay.
never paid dues before,
I've paid dues.
then you're in there. We do have a couple of sisterhood presidents in the whole Women's League who are totally new to Women's League, and they're presidents, and we have to put them in. But as long as you're not new to Women's League, you should be able to get in there.
I just want to say Susan is definitely in the Women's League database.
40 some years worth, Susan.
You might
Right.
start, instead of saying first time login, you might start with forgot password and see if that gets you a password. And if not,
Okay.
then go back to first time login.
Okay.
Okay?
Richie.
Anything else? Anybody want
Susan
to
Schmid is on.
talk about something, get something off your chest?
Wave to her.
Oh, when you said that Debbie wanted to come to the meetings, does she want to be a speaker?
She will if you ask her.
Okay.
That, you know, I know when I first started, when I was, you know, first started Sisterhood, and it was like, the president is gonna have, but really, she's very friendly. She really wants to meet everybody, so invite her. She may be busy, you know, she may say no, but don't get offended by that. Just invite her to the next thing.
Yeah, and she's based in Pennsylvania. She's not that far away.
Yeah.
Unless she's in Arizona.
Yeah, that's half the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just get a clarification?
Hold on, Sharon, one thing. Jenna
yeah.
had her hand up, and then I'll.
Sorry.
I have questions that are not having to do with the website. Should I ask them, or is there going to be another session?
It will be Presnet sessions. If we can give you a short answer, we'll do it now. What is your question?
I mean, I am looking for a program where I want to bring in somebody that can teach Israeli dancing so people can have an active meeting. I don't know where to find that person.
That would be a Presnet question.
Presnet. Once you get on the Presnet, if you post that, say, I'm looking for XYZ, you will get 30 answers.
Okay, I'll give that a try. I have another question for programming. So I went on to the Sisterhood resources and I looked under programming and I saw something that said you can show a movie and then you can have a discussion group and then you can sell stacks and make it like a 3-part thing, like an education, a discussion, and a fundraising. But all the movies were from 15 and 16. Is there any update on that?
My guess would be it's something that they may be working on, but there again, if you're looking for something like that, I would reach out to the president and find out what others do. You'd be amazed the answers that you get through the president. Just about everything that's out there, you know, with so many sisterhoods, just about everything that's out there may have already been tried, and you should be able to get answers. If not, contact me directly and I will get you answers.
Okay. Right. Thank you.
Toby, how many sisterhoods do we have?
30.
No.
No, that's in the region. I'm talking internationally. It's over 400, I believe.
Yeah. And the president reaches all of them. So you've got a, good chance of getting your answers. Yeah, Sharon.
Yes. So I just want to clarify. I doubt very seriously that my predecessor has changed the name of the president. But so that's one place where we need to put in our name or the name of the new president, myself. Also, what you were just discussing in terms of adding new positions, is that an additional place where the president's name needs to go?
That's the place. That's the place where it needs to go. Yeah.
So Presnet, in the Presnet,
Oh, not in Presnet, on that list.
on that list, which is under what category? Just review it for me. Tell me that name again, where that is.
Website.
On the website,
On the
yes.
website, when you go into the Sisterhood, when you log into the website and it says under Sisterhood, it says
Yes.
positions.
Positions,
That's
okay,
where you go.
okay.
It's also, there's a handout that I gave you. It has
Okay.
all of this step by step with pictures.
Okay, great, okay.
Can I just
I'm
say
sorry.
one thing really quick about address Janet's question about programming? I think a good is our region, if they email our region programming vice president, they might have ideas for Israeli dancing that might be able to teach. And Lynette would be a great resource too.
Yeah, I just private message Janet. The EBJC people know her. Vera Galliard is someone who is based in East Brunswick, but she works in North Jersey, and she doesn't know someone, she may know someone. But yeah, I think the programming group is working, and speak with me. I'd be happy to find out through them. We're trying to put a programming network together with this monthly meeting where we can kind of swap each other's ideas and borrow from them. I think someone says, well, I don't know how to do that. Like, I've heard about bingo, don't know how to do bingo, but one of the sisterhoods might be able to teach it. Same for Israeli dancing.
Lynette.
This is only one I know of. Yeah.
The only thing I want to address, like, if people have trouble logging on, they should call Razel or ask her to email her for help. Because I think our technical person is retiring because he was really great, Max.
Yes.
But there are people, if you find yourself logged out because your past president didn't do it, just email Razel and she'll be happy to call you and give
Razel is great. She can help.
Yeah,
with
they're
anything
very
you
quick
need.
and responsive to
But
get
the
you
other
out of
thing
the
is,
bind.
remember the chart with all the different things that the region has and Women's League and the Sisterhoods, and it's all the same. So if you have a problem with something in your sisterhood, you can always reach out to the person in the region on the same level and ask them for help. If it's programming or even if it's treasury, the region has those same positions.
I'm programming. There's a woman named Grace Schlesler. Is she at a BQLI?
Yes.
Schlesler? And she is so innovative. She does programming ideas of the week. If you play around on the website, you're going to see things that you never thought of in there that are very creative, from arts and crafts to making things, and really good ideas. Really good.
Lynette, would you send a list of all your region officers and committee chairs to all these people so they'll have a contact list?
Yeah, I could do that. I think
that would be
okay.
helpful.
I have a question about the database.
Yeah.
Okay, does the former sisterhood president, is she the only one who can update it with the new names, or can the new sisterhood presidents update it?
She is the only one who has access right now. So she needs to put in put in your name, the president's name. That's all she has to do. She can go ahead.
Marsha, the treasurer, the financial secretary, and the data
That's
manager
true. The
can
treasurer,
also get in.
the prior treasurer, financial secretary also have access. Whoever the data managers were. And they can put all of the officers, but the one they have to do is you put your presidency in there.
Okay, because Sandy Finkelstein said that she emailed Teresa.
What did she? I don't know why she would have.
About updating the database to put me and Ray Ellen in.
That's not. Well, Teresa doesn't do it. Your sisterhood has to do it.
Okay, I advised her of that. I'm just telling you how she responded.
Yeah, Teresa can't do it. Teresa can't get into your sisterhood. Only your sisterhood could get into.
Okay. Thank
Elaine?
you.
What is the data manager? We never had
Data
anybody.
manager would be the president or the treasurer or the financial secretary, or whoever your sisterhood decided would be the person to go into the website and make changes of the.
Okay, okay, because our treasurer emailed me the other day saying, who the hell is that? So she has no idea.
Whoever,
It's just an extra
normally the
position.
treasurer
Okay,
does
good,
it
thank
because
you.
they get
That's
the
good.
dues. Right, normally the treasurer collects your dues and goes in and marks who's paid on the Women's League website. But that's not always true. It might be somebody else. The treasurer might be handing the names to somebody else who puts it in. And the president usually has access as well. So that's why I say the president, the president always can get in, but then whoever that other person is could also do it.
And another very quick question. Many of us are co-presidents. I was surprised at how many sisterhoods have co-presidents now. How is that entered into the database?
Same way.
Put in, but as long as one of you is entered as president, that person can put the other person in as president as well.
Yeah,
okay.
You can continue to add presidents.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. I know a sisterhood that has 5 presidents and they
There's one in Intercontinental that's got 12 presidents.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They switch off every
out.
single month.
Anything more than 3 is ridiculous.
But whatever works for you.
How they can agree on anything.
fine.
It's worked for them for many years. So we don't question it anymore. But they're the only ones.
They're all like in different states, or how spread out is that?
I have no idea how they work it.
What
but
is
they've
it,
been doing
Intercontinental?
They've been doing it forever, and it's somewhere like in Michigan or something like that. And they've been doing it for years. Usually if there's a presidium, it's 3 or 4 women. They
Right.
may do it quarterly. One may be the liaison to the temple board. One may be the one who runs the meetings. One may be the one that works with the programming team and does that kind of thing. So, you have to find what works for your sisterhood. It's not always the best. Usually, what you try, optimally, we look for one sisterhood president and one co-president. That the sisterhood president's going to be there for 2 years. The co-president comes in her 2nd year. Then the following year, she becomes president. So it's a revolving door of always having 2 people, one who's been there for a year and one that's brand new. And it's difficult to find, but once it gets started, and more than anything, once your sisterhood team knows that there is so much hand-holding available. I mean, even if you're a new sisterhood president and you feel totally overwhelmed, contact consulting services and ask them for a personal mentor. And that woman would be a consultant who's been there and done that, understands what you're going through, and is there for you. I've been a mentor of a sisterhood president for 3 years, and she and I speak every single month.
My sisterhood, we had trouble finding a president, and that's what we did. We found somebody who was not very experienced, and we told her that, but she was eager, and we said, we want you to have a mentor. And she went to the training, and she has a mentor that's going to be working with her. And, all of us are going to back her up and help her out some, but mentoring, sometimes that's the only way you can find somebody to, even come in as your co-president. So say you serve a year and then you find somebody to come in and you say, you're not president, you're co-president. I'm going to help you out. We can get you a mentor. And then the following year, she'll be president, but she'll have a co-president still. Somebody new that you'll train.
And it sounds like a lot. You're telling us that you're having problems finding a president now. To find 2 women is double trouble. But
well, you
our
only need to
goal,
find one to work with you your 2nd year. And then the next year, you'll find somebody to work with her.
Our goal is to make it so that you, a volunteer, are not overwhelmed by the position. There is so much out there. If you can't find it, if you just ask for it, we will help you get there. We will make it easy for you. We've all been there. If I can't give, I know quite a bit about Women's League. I've been doing this for a while. If I can't find an answer, I know where to go to get it. So I will never leave you hanging and just waiting. So please understand, we know you're all volunteers, so are we. But we want you to have fun doing this, not be overwhelmed, not be frustrated. There was someone mentioned that they were having problems with personalities in their sisterhood. And one of the parts of the Women's League convention last July dealt specifically with different personalities. And someone mentioned they were working with Corey Schneider. She is the go-to person if you need help with difficult personalities. So
you really
each one of
shouldn't
us,
be stressed. You're a volunteer and you should have fun and you should walk away better. You should walk away a better person than when you came in.
I mean, there are a couple of people up here who have the Women's League logo. And if you look at that logo closely, it says to engage, enrich, and empower conservative Jewish women. And that's what we want to do. We want to engage you. We want to empower you. We want to help you. We want to be your friend. We want you to have a good time doing this. And no, it's not a little job, but there is no such thing as a little job. Because if I tell someone, oh, I need your help on this project, and it's only a little job, you know what that does? It means it's not important. And I'm sorry, but every volunteer is important. Did we overwhelm you? It got very quiet.
We're tired.
Yes, so are we.
Yeah.
I have 4 Zoom meetings in 4 nights this week, so. And I work full time. So, yeah, we understand. We understand. Please don't ever, ever, ever feel that you are alone, that there's no one out there to help you, that there's no one who has encountered the same or similar problems and doesn't know where to go to get help. So take a deep breath and smile.
Okay.
And give yourself a pat on the back. Or like we tell the kids in Hebrew school, pat the kepi.
Yeah.
Thank you all for
Thank you.
So when is the next
volunteering or
one?
being volunteered to do this job.
Right. You said you're doing something for the president every month. Is there a
Every month, it'll be starting in August. Because July is just too filled with
fine.
region trainings and sisterhood trainings and everything else.
Will it be
So
Wednesday nights or?
It'll be the 3rd Wednesday of every month.
That's the executive board of our temple. So I can't
They will all be recorded.
Oh, but if they're at 7, that's early. So yeah.
I think it's 7:30. I think it is 7:30. The 3rd Wednesday of each month, except for September, the holidays just get in the way. But they'll all be recorded. And Anne, like I've said to you a dozen times tonight, call me, email me, text me.
I emailed you already.
I will.
Email? You sent it already.
I will always be there for you and get you.
No, I
through.
would. I found this more interesting than I frankly thought I would. So I'm happy to do, but our executive board, like our temple board, which now I'm part of is because the president.
You guys hit the bonus. You've got 2 consultants here.
Right. Great. Well, thank you.
And Toby, are you the administrator of the Presnet that these ladies can reach out? Moderator.
Yes.
Okay, so you have a direct line by email as well for as things happen.
Yes.
Toby was part of when I was at the Training Institute, and she really is a wealth of information.
Do you know, we mentioned Leadership Institute. Do you know what that is? Leadership Institute has kind of been put on hold until we can get back in person because it's a 2.5-day program. There is an additional cost for it, but most regions or sisterhoods are able to pick up the tab for you. And it's all Women's League women, but not necessarily all Women's League stuff. It teaches you how to be a leader.
And
And
it's
good life
amazing.
skills, good life.
And you can go to more than one and you'll learn different things at each one.
I've been twice.
Yeah, me too.
Just a phenomenal, I've never heard anyone say that they didn't enjoy it and they didn't walk away with bags of tools that help them every single day in their lives. Well, the 1.5 hours is up. But half of us want to go to sleep. The other half are going to go eat dinner.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
night.
you for everything you do. Thank you for stepping up.
Just one, who is the one from Ridgewood? There was somebody here. Was it? Okay, because I'm from Fairlawn. We should probably talk.
And I'm in Highland Park, which is right in between East Brunswick and Metuchen. So
When
those
the
presidents, we can also
who
do
is the
something.
Fairlawn? Anne is the Fairlawn president.
Yeah,
When I
I'm-
was president before, we did joint events. So we should
yeah,
definitely
so
talk about that. Yeah. Mhm.
Lynette,
So-
you should put out a list of all your presidents and their contact information and send it to
Okay.
all the other
Okay.
presidents.
I want to thank Teresa, did an awesome job preparing it, and I will forward it from there to all of you. So you'll know
Thank
each
you.
other and how to reach each other.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch, Anne.
Great.
We'll see you all on the region training in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
night.
Thank you.
Okay, good
Bye-bye.
night.
Right.